Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hockett Home. We're a busy family of 7 juggling homeschooling, full-time work, and flipping a hoarder house. And in today's video, we're diving into a big DIY project, which isn't surprising since most of this house we're doing ourselves anyway. If you've stayed tuned anytime during our videos, you've seen us do some wild things. And today, we're removing part of a load-bearing wall to install a glass sliding door. We decided to tackle this ourselves and try to save over $6,000. Was this a genius move or a major mistake? You'll have to stay tuned to find out, and we'd love to hear what you think at the end. So one of the reasons we decided to do this project was because when we bought this house, we realized that the kitchen sink was off center from the kitchen window, and it really bugged us. But you couldn't move it because the dishwasher was butted up next to the back door. So there was nothing we could do except take this out and put in a brand new door. So we decided we wanted to do that, and we figured it would be easiest if we took out one of the windows in the back room in order to make that happen. We also realized when we took out all of this window that taking out windows is not as difficult as we thought it would be. We decided that this might be our chance to also tackle another DIY project ourselves of installing windows. But you'll have to wait and see if we decided that was actually what we were going to do after doing this project. This was definitely a big one. We had also decided that we were going to wall up the second window as well, but we didn't want to get ourselves in a pickle of not having a window in the house, and we knew that putting in the door was a big enough project on its own. So we decided to leave that window in place for now and just focus on getting this new sliding glass door in. We decided to tackle this project ourselves because we realized that we could save over $6,000 just by putting in this door ourselves. And it wasn't the first time we had done this. In our house that we live in now, which we fully renovated, we took out one of the windows to put in a door for our back porch. But it wasn't putting in a sliding glass door, and we didn't have to add a new header because the header was already existing from the window. This was going to be a little bit more work. We had to take out the wall and then put in a brand new header that was larger in order for the door to meet code. And we had to pass a building inspection, which was going to be a whole thing in and of itself. So this was all going to take some time and definitely a lot of hard work. First, we had to take out all of the posts on the outside of the walls. And so after prying and cutting and prying some more, we finally got to the point where those were out and we were ready to start knocking down the brick. Our first plan was actually to cut a straight line and then knock out the brick from there. But when Jason tried to do it with the circular saw, all it did was make an awful burning noise and smell. And so we decided a sledgehammer would just be the easiest endeavor.
There we go. That's what we want. That's it.
Do you want me to get some more cardboard?
No, I didn't think of it.
Now, some of you may be wondering why we painted the brick out back just to tear it all out. Well, when we were painting the brick, we hadn't quite settled on how we were going to tackle the new back door. And we found that the simplest option was to paint all of it so that we didn't have to do any touch-ups later. Now, once we knocked out the brick we needed for the door opening, we cleaned it all up and it was finally time to install the door. Knocking out all of this brick took quite a while, and it definitely took both of us doing it. Jason felt the brunt of the work, but I helped where I could, even though the sledgehammer was so heavy. His old sledgehammer was not this heavy, but this one definitely got the job done. After we knocked out all of this brick and cleaned it up, which took quite a bit of time, we were not anticipating what was going to happen next. This was definitely an unexpected turn of events.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's move our stuff down and
Oh no.
it's coming out down here.
We have a lot more bricks to move.
I think if you stick your crowbar in it, hun, and maybe push it with some leverage, it'd probably come in.
Perfect. Oh. That'll be a big one.
Yep.
Some of these are in big chunks.
Yep.
You want to come here and see?
Thankfully, all of this brick came out very easily, and once all the brick was cleaned up for a second time, we were ready to move on to framing the new door. We had to work fast because we needed to finish the project today. After all, we couldn't leave our house wide open unless we wanted to come back to a bunch of animals and bugs moving in. So we installed the king studs, the jack studs, and our gigantic 12-inch header that I still can't figure out how I managed to lift it with Jason, and lift it multiple times. We were making great progress and finally ready to put the door in place when another unexpected event occurred. You see, when you buy a glass sliding door like the one that we have, the door comes with 2x4s all around the outside of it, and it's wrapped in plastic. And so you can't see every bit of the door until you unwrap it, take off the 2x4s and everything else, which are not things you want to do until you're ready to put the door in place. So what couldn't be seen due to the door having the 2x4s attached to all of the outside edges was there is a plastic flange along the bottom of this door for mounting on the outside of a home. This isn't a problem unless you own a house with a slab, like we do.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Slide it up. And lift it out. Slide it down. Put on the concrete.
Yep.
Slide this 2x4 in. Now we're gonna slide it your way.
Slide it my way.
Yep.
Okay.
Now can I go back? Like you want to hold my side and I'll get
Yeah.
that thing?
I'm strong enough.
Okay. Oh, what in the world?
What?
Okay. Well, here's what we gotta do. We're gonna set this back here. We're gonna lean it against the wall. Okay. Lift. You want to bring yours out a little bit so we can lean it a little more. There you go. Like that.
So the outside is taller.
Because they have a flange on there. Does it not sit flush?
No.
What? Let me see. So what's it sit on? Is there anything underneath it? It's just sitting on.
The plastic flange.
So that's why. So if we could get that plastic flange off.
We soon realized that these doors come with the plastic flange on, and you remove them in order to install them on a slab. So Jason ran over to Home Depot, which is thankfully down the road, and bought a flush cut saw to remove the flange. We installed the door that night, and we were ready to move forward for our next project. But we had made a mistake that we didn't find till the morning. The next morning, as Jason was looking at the door, he realized it was not centered on the back porch post. So when looking through to the backyard, the post blocked much of your view. This meant we needed to move the door, and we needed to move it 13 inches. So we uninstalled our door, took down our header, king studs, and the jack studs just to move the door 13 inches because we knew it was completely worth it. The positive in all of this was that we would have needed to remove all of that brick that fell off the wall the day before. It was actually a blessing in disguise that the brick was already out and we were able to make quicker work of moving the door. We also realized by moving the door that we could leave the living room window in place. This saved us from having to remove that window and allowed for more natural light in the home. Moving the door was an all-around win, even if it added a whole nother day to this project.
I don't know if you can or if you just want to try to lift it. I think we can just lift it. You can slide it on the. You can slide it on the thing.
Yep.
We just won't slide it. Good. Good. Does it need to come over my way?
Needs to come your way.
Yeah, quite a bit. Right there, cool.
Yep.
Can it come your way a little?
Yep.
There we go.
Good?
Good.
Okay, you want to see it from the inside? You want?
Yeah, you hold it.
I got it.
That's right. Check your gas. Yes, like that. Much larger gap. Good. Okay, I think it's good. So let's just pull it out a little bit.
Well, last time we just leaned it, right? Did we pull it out?
Yeah. I don't think you even need. Yeah, you're right.
No, we just leaned it.
Do you want to do the caulking or do you want to lean?
I'll lean.
Okay. Let me help you lean first.
Yes.
And then I'll grab it. Okay. Are you good? So it's around there. It's good, Bubba?
Yep.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yep. That's good. We worked well into the evening with the kids in tow to finish the door installation. But even with it installed, we still needed to cover the holes that were left in the wall until we could add the siding to the outside wall we had torn out. And we still needed the okay from the building inspector. We knew we had done everything above board, but nonetheless, I was still very nervous about the inspection. And thankfully, we passed. After looking at the door and checking out the header, the king studs, and the jack studs, we got the go-ahead to move forward with the project. But I did laugh when the building inspector saw all the new wiring hanging down and asked if I had a permit for that. I just laughed and let him know that we most certainly did, but that the electrical was a project for another day. Jason then took to finishing the outside by adding the OSB board, the vapor barrier, and the board and batten siding. We also had to remove and frame in the old back door in order to extend the kitchen the way that we wanted. If you remember from the beginning, all of this started with the sink being off-centered. It turned into a big project, but it was completely worth it now that we see how it looks all finished.
Do you need me to hold it? In? Yep.
Yeah, we get the door framed out. You can go out, buddy. You can go out.
Yeah. He's wild. It's gonna be so much better with just the door over here. Okay.
I have to say too, it's so fun to have the kids be a part of all of this. They were here for so much of this project and so many of the other ones as well. You'll see them in and out of frames, helping with things, helping to move things, and try to find anything they can do, even if it's just play around for a while. It gets a little chaotic at times, but it really is fun to have them learn new things all the time. And we know if we can keep this up as they get older, they're going to learn some amazing skills that I wish I had when I was younger. They're going to learn things like plumbing and electric, caulking, putting in new windows, anything you can think of. The possibilities are literally endless with them. And it was also really cool to watch Jason hand build this board and batten siding. He was so meticulous with it to make sure it looked absolutely amazing, and it truly does. In the end, we painted it all white and caulked it in with an incredible all-weather caulking called OSI Quad. You can use it down to 20 degrees, which made it the ideal choice when caulking during the cold months in the Midwest. We're really happy with the final results and can't wait to show you them here in a minute. And now we want to share with you a full breakdown on our costs and how we saved thousands with this DIY project. So our sliding door and the delivery fee were $600. We had to pay $200 for the building permit. All of our framing materials cost us $100, not to mention the miscellaneous supplies such as caulking, foam, and everything else were $100. And then the board and batten siding was $300 total. So our total cost in this project was about $1,300. We've saved so much by doing the tear out and framing ourselves, including the faux wall that was needed with working on an exterior wall. Not to mention removing the old door and adding the board and batten where the brick used to be. By our calculations, we saved over $6,000 by installing the door ourselves, and we passed the inspection with no issues. We worked so hard to make this big change to the home, and it was completely worth all of the time and effort that it took. The difference that it makes in the home is absolutely astounding. From the inside, everything now feels so bright and airy, where it used to feel so dark and dreary. And from the outside, it just looks like such a fun, cool space with this new sliding glass door. It was one of the best decisions we've made for this home, and we absolutely can't wait to show you guys all of the other amazing things we're going to do. So don't forget to subscribe and check out all of our other videos on this home renovation. You don't want to miss any of them. It's going to be so much fun to get to show you guys everything else as we go along. And here's the finished project of the board and batten siding. We still have a little bit more to do, but it looks amazing right now, don't you think?